In this video, I'm going to show you how I created this oscilloscope style animation for my logo intro. We're going to be pairing After Effects with this secret piece of software, and trust me, it is an absolute gem. So buckle up and let's get right into it. The first thing you'll want to do is download and install the free version of Osci-Render, and when we open it up, the first thing I like to do is to turn off the audio output so we don't get any sort of static noise coming from the speakers. Next, we can go ahead and import our logo. I'm going to be using a static PNG, but it also works with GIFs. Right away, you can see we have a pretty crazy effect, but if your logo is not popping out enough, you can play around with the threshold and stride to really bring back some of those details and make it more readable. Once you're happy with how this looks, we can go to the settings tab and actually customize some of those features. So I like to set the screen overlay to smudge to get rid of that black grid overlay. And next, obviously, you can play around with the line hue, saturation, and intensity. Depending on what sort of aesthetic you're trying to achieve, you can play around with the line intensity. And as you can see, this is going to make the effect a lot more subtle. And I also like to play around with the persistence slider, which is going to give this whole thing an echo effect. Even though the glow looks pretty good, I like to fully turn it off. That way I can add it back using After Effects paired with Deep Glow to get even more control. I usually turn the ambient light setting all the way to 0, that way we have a perfect black background. Now we can start exploring the various ways we can alter our signal and make this animation look completely different. So as you can see, when we turn on the bit crush, it's gonna give it that sort of pixel minimalistic vibe. And if we just quickly cycle through some of these effects, you can see we can get some crazy glitches and just alter our base animation in the coolest ways. What I suggest you do is you screen record this viewport while you're browsing all of these effects and playing around with them. That way you're later able to precisely time specific effects for your final animation. Here I'm using my favorite effect, which is smoothing, and going through the entire range of the slider. That way I get a progressive logo reveal effect that we're later going to be able to use as our base layer. I'm going to record myself playing around with those sliders for a few more minutes. That way we have a bunch of footage to choose from. If you want to get the absolute best render quality, you should definitely consider purchasing the paid version of this software and supporting its creator. But since I want to record the effects being affected by the sliders in real time, I kind of have no choice but to use the screen recording method, but I think it's going to work just fine. And next, we're going to add over to After Effects and import all of our recorded footage. The process is going to be fairly straightforward. We're essentially looking to extract all of the coolest bits of our recording, whether it be glitches, us tweaking the sliders in real time, and stuff like that. Now's the time to move the layers around and build out a sequence. I like to start off with a glitch, then the logo reveal, then another glitch to make the logo disappear, which should look something like this once pieced together. I also like to elevate the animation by creating an adjustment layer, which we're going to put all the way to the top and add an unsharp mask effect. You can leave the radius to 1 and crank up the amount to around 100 or 150, and this is going to make it a lot crispier. Following up on what I said earlier, we're going to create another adjustment layer, put it on top of everything, and add the deep glow effect. This is also going to work with the built-in AE glow, but as you can see, this glow looks much better than the one we add in the Osci-Render software. Another way I like to spice up these animations is to once again create an adjustment layer on which we're going to add the free quick chromatic aberration plugin. All you're going to want to do is set the position to around 1.5, and as you can see, this is going to be the final touch that really makes everything pop. We could be done here, but you can obviously go in and tweak the colors if you changed your mind. But the icing on the cake for me is to add my VHS cam plugin to really give it that analog feel. The interlacing feature of the VHS cam plugin paired with the oscilloscope style just works perfectly together. All I'm going to do now is turn off the static feature as well as the VHS overlay and play around with some of the source settings like the exposure, the gamma, and the saturation. You can see just how good the echo interlacing effect looks with these glitches, and once that's all said and done, we can hit confirm, and here's the final result. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to let me know if you want more of these logo animations, motion graphics tutorials. If you want to level up your edits, check the first link in the description down below. You'll be able to find the VHS Cam plugin we used towards the end of this tutorial to get the analog look. That'll be pretty much it for today, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed once again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.